So the next speaker I'm going to invite to the floor is a person who is really hard to describe with a single word. He has been a marketer. He has founded a couple of companies, one of which is GrowthRocks, one of the first international growth marketing agencies in Europe. He's also a public speaker, an advocate who spreads knowledge about growth marketing strategies and best practices. Currently, he's hustling, puffing, and bringing all his experience in innovation to his new platform called Viral Loops. If you haven't heard of Viral Loops, you're hearing about it now. It's a platform which is making our life as marketers easier. Because anybody who has ever tried to do referral marketing might know it's not so easy to get to people to recommend you to others. So if I can recommend anybody to tell us more about referral programs, that's Savvas. Savvas, the floor is yours.
Hello. Just give me a minute because we need to plug this in. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. I don't want sound. Yeah, just this one. Yeah, from the other side. Great. Yeah, sure.
So Jurezi forgot to tell you something. He brought a special edition of calendars, but calendars representing your life. So you can grab them at the registration counter before the entrance so that you won't say that you didn't get any goodies at this event. Thank you so much, Doctrina, for giving us this lovely tool how to organize our life. And are we ready?
Yeah, give me a moment.
Well, we're clapping a lot. You're a really grateful crowd of people. Yep.
We're ready. I need this. Yeah, we're on. Okay, first off, I'd like to thank you so much. It's my first time here in Slovenia. I've talked to some previous growth marketing conferences in New York and Atlanta, but today I'm really excited because I met in person Thomas and Maya. We've been talking and working together for around a year maybe. So yeah, it's really fun to be here today. I'm going to talk about viral marketing and referral marketing. And what I'm going to show you today is a very actionable framework of how you can apply it tomorrow for your own company. Oh, no. It's the USB, but don't worry. It's not plugged, but I can do it from this way. So, very quickly about me. I've founded, I'm coming from the marketing automation industry. I'm a founder of 3 companies. 3 years ago, I founded one of the first growth marketing agencies. It ranks #1 for a lot of growth hacking keywords. Thank you so much, Thomas. It's growing. We have offices in 4 countries. And 1 year ago, I founded a SaaS company called Viral Loops, which is a VC-backed platform for helping companies acquire more customers through virality and referral marketing. And tomorrow, I'm launching a new company. Yeah, so it's an online academy for teaching growth hacking courses. So stay tuned. I will need you to both. Yeah. And very quickly about Viral Loops. As I told you, it's a platform. It's a SaaS platform for virality. We've started 1 year ago, and currently we have more than 4,000 websites using our platform. So, how many of you have heard about the referral programs of Dropbox or Airbnb? Come on, raise your hands. All of you. So, this is why I'm not going to talk about that today. All right? And for the rest of you that you haven't used or heard about it, just give it a Google, and I'm pretty sure you'll find a ton of resources around it, including our own articles. Instead of that, I'm going to show you how Product Hunt runs an ambassador program to engage its community and grows its customer base very quickly. So, do you know Product Hunt? Great. So, Product Hunt is one of the biggest tech communities that new products, startups, mobile apps, web apps launch their products in order to get traction because it's a huge community. They have hundreds of thousands of users, of active users, and I totally recommend it if you want to try it as a customer acquisition channel for your startup. If someone from here wants to try it out, I can give you some tips after my talk. So, Product Hunt, they were looking for new ways of acquiring more customers and expanding their communities. So, they know that word of mouth works really well for them because, you know, for example, right now I'm talking about Product Hunt. I spread the word about them. It's a very nice community. I find the best tools there, and I spread the word. So, but they wanted to find a way to engineer this word of mouth and the referral mechanics. So what they did is that they came up with an ambassador program that is based on its branding. So a really cool thing that they have, people love t-shirts, you know, like the t-shirts of Mad Kings, for example. So, yeah, really. So what happens there is that everyone, literally everyone, wants to have a t-shirt, a sticker of Product Hunt, socks. I like socks, weird socks. I'm pretty sure a lot of people from here like, you know, weird socks too. So what they did is that they created a lot of company swag with their logo, which is this cute kitty. And let me show you the exact flow. So the first thing that they did is that they integrated their ambassador program to the single sign-on or sign-up process. And why this is important? Because you don't want people, for example, registered users or existing customers to sign up again for an ambassador program. So it's really easy to do that if you want to build it. So if you go for the first time on Product Hunt, let's say to the ambassador program or coming from an invite. So if you haven't joined that, you can follow this link, which is my personal referral link, and I will get referrals. This is why I put it there. And when you go to that page, it asks you to sign up or log in, it's the same thing, through Twitter, Facebook, or AngelList. When you do so, you see that page. So it's a dedicated landing page in their website. So it's ambassadors.producthunt.com. Its ambassador program runs there. So what you need to keep in mind here is that when you want to launch this kind of program, you need to have a dedicated landing page in your website. And it should not be hidden, all right? So every single active customer should be aware that you're running a referral program or an ambassador program, because this is the only way to participate and make more invites and bring new customers for your application. Now, what happens here is that they have written very carefully the copy. So one of the main reasons why invite programs don't work is that people always call them invite a friend, refer a friend, all right? It's similar to subscribe to my newsletter. Nobody wants to subscribe to your newsletter. Why? Because when I read somewhere, subscribe to our newsletter, for me it's something, okay, they will spam me. They will send me every day one email saying, and we have this new feature, and please buy, and this kind of stuff. So what you need to do instead is to focus on the core value that these people will get if they subscribe to your newsletter or if they join the referral program. And here the core value is that I will get company swag. I will get this crazy kitty, my socks, my t-shirts. So if you see here, they say invite your friends to join and we'll send you Product Hunt swag. So immediately I understand what I will be getting, right? The next important thing in that page is that I see where I stand, all right? So I understand very quickly that I have 5 friends that have joined the referral program. And that helps me to understand, okay, what I need to do more in order to get more perks, more socks. Because, I can't live without these socks, all right? And what happens is that if I scroll a bit on the page, I will see this widget. So what this is, so most of us we're very familiar with the Dropbox style referral program, which is the classic referral program. Invite a friend and get something. And for each friend you invite, you get 200 megabytes. Invite a friend and you'll get 20% off. Invite one more friend and you'll get another 20% off. And I think you get why this is problematic, because the only way that we correlate our brand is that if you invite a friend, you'll get a discount, all right? And this is not good for your brand. Of course, you should have discounts and better prices if people invite their friends, but you need to frame it very differently and not, in order not to cannibalize your brand. So here, what we have, instead of just, invite a friend and get the same thing all the time, is that I have a more gamified experience. We call it the milestone referral program. And the way we call it like that is because the more friends you invite, the better perks you unlock. So the good thing with that is that, actually it has a lot. The first one is that you understand that if I continue inviting more friends and more friends, I can win different rewards. So I won't be getting the same thing all the time, all right? So if you are creative enough, you can combine, and I'll give you some ideas for multiple companies, what you can do. The next thing is that if I get to a specific amount of referrals, let's say 10, and I get something like a sticker park, I see that if I continue inviting friends, then I will go to the next milestone. So the incentive is much bigger than the normal invite a friend and you'll get a coupon code. And the third thing is that this is newer, right? So we're not so used to that idea because everyone have seen a referral program, invite a friend and get 20% off. But this is not a common referral program that you see in every e-commerce store. Actually, I don't believe that if you go to an e-commerce store that you will find this kind of referral. The only brand that did that was Harry's, which is a men grooming brand based in New York, and they grew like hell after this kind of campaign. Okay, so another thing I want to mention here, which is really important, is about this link. So for those who don't know how referral programs work, is that basically when I sign up, the system generates a unique URL, a unique link, or a unique coupon code / referral code that if I share it with my friends and they join from this link or by adding this code, we will both get something, the referrer and the invitee, all right? And most of the times what we see is a link something like ambassador.producthunt.com /?GHK LMNOP code, okay, whatever. And why this is wrong? So what is the portion, if you can guess, of the offline referral marketing, so the offline word of mouth, against the online word of mouth? So what do you believe is the percentage? Who has an idea of that? Doctrina, the Doctrina team, you cannot talk, okay? I told you. Okay, nobody? 80% what? Great. So my friend, what's your name? Attila. So Attila says that 80% happens online and 20% happens offline, right? And I'm really happy because what happens in reality is exactly the opposite. And it's really easy to understand that. So I did the same mistake. So I read the research around it, right? I'm not so smart. So, and why this happens? Because simply, we talk much more than we write on Facebook or, on messages. And we talk about brands, we talk about conferences, we talk about marketing agencies, we talk about everything, right? So the majority of word of mouth happens offline and not online. So what you need to do is to find ways to hack offline word of mouth and drive more people to your website. And by having a very simple referral link, something like my name, it's a really easy way to hack this. So, for example, if I didn't have that presentation and we were drinking coffee or a beer, with Thomas, what would happen? I would say to him, oh, Thomas, go to Product Hunt and just put my name or my surname at the referral code, and you'll get this swag or these socks, right? So it's really easier to drive referrals by having really simple referral links. Now, something that a lot of people forget in the era of growth hacking, all right? A risk that we take when we focus a lot on growth hacking is that we think that it's a total engineering process that we need to iterate fast, right? And we need to hack to find scrapers, do retargeting, hack the world actually, and do all of this stuff. But what we forget the basics of marketing, right? So one of the most important things is to write good copy. So even if you know the best hacks around Facebook advertising, if your copy sucks, there is no chance that you will convert a customer, right? So 2 weeks ago, we went through the copy of a very big brand in London. They spent £20,000 per month on paid advertising, and I just took my copywriter because I know about copy, but we have a very a friend of mine that does copywriting. He sat for 2 hours and he increased the conversion rate by 20% just by changing the copy, nothing else, no growth hacks, all right? The same is with referral programs. Don't write invite a friend, get a discount, get a coupon code. Be creative. Find and talk to the customers what they want to hear, right? So it should be converting. Now, another thing about the milestone referrals, it's a very nice opportunity, especially for brands and e-commerce stores. And why is that? Because simply you can give out your own products. You don't have to find something else. And a nice point that Maya made today is that you should always keep in mind that when you give out a product, you should calculate that and take that into account in your customer acquisition cost. So if you give, for example, a product or a t-shirt of your e-commerce store that costs you, let's say, $20, then you should calculate that in your customer acquisition cost. Something else that you can do is that you can start building your own brand. What I mean by that is, and I have an example, for those who don't know The Hustle is a media company based in New York. And what they're doing is that they send a daily email with the best tech and business news, but with their own perspective, with their own marketing angle. Their copy is one of the best out there, so I totally recommend that you should subscribe to their email. And don't be offended from the welcome email. It's just good copy, all right? You will understand what I'm talking about. They based their whole growth on an ambassador program on company swag. So what they do is that they say, for example, that if you invite 4 friends, you become an official ambassador. And what they're doing is that they get your face, a picture, and they put you in a landing page. So they show off, and you're proud, and you're sharing, oh, I'm cool, I'm hustling, with the hustle. So it's really cool to share it with your friends. The next thing that they do is that they have swag. But it's not the swag that we are used to. And what I mean by that is that if you see, they don't simply write the hustle, but they try to, to make their branding bolder. So they say, for example, always be hustling. Because if I get, a t-shirt saying always be hustling, it's something that I would wear today. But if it was, another t-shirt more, let's say, with a company name, I'm not so sure if I was going to wear it. Right? Or if you see in their socks says act now, right? So it's their branding, and it's something cool that I want to wear in a conference, for example. The next thing is that you can combine and you can give discounts, company swag. If you're a marketing product, you can give also exclusive content. So you can say, for example, that invite a friend or 3 friends, and I'll send you an exclusive PDF guide of how you can crush it on Product Hunt, for example. So you should be creative around that. A nice example that I have is that we have a very cool brand in Brooklyn, and they sell sneakers and very cool t-shirts. They give discounts, they give the normal stuff, But what works really well is that they say that if you invite 100 people to join our emailing list, then you are invited to one of our exclusive events because they have a store in Brooklyn, and in the rooftop there is a cage with a basketball arena that people can go play basketball at nights at the cage, and well-known players come from New York, and it's really cool. So they run exclusive events. For example, you can run an exclusive event here, but having only people that have invited their friends, and drive more referrals from that. Some more tips. Okay, so how you can build such a campaign. The first thing that you should have in mind is that your first milestone should be really, really easily achievable. Why is that? Because I also have a link here of Cialdini's principles. And the reason is that you should give to people something really easily. Because when you give them something, they will give you more. So don't put the first, let's say, milestone at 20 referrals, because people will be discouraged to share it, to invite their friends. All right? So start with something small. And I recommend 1 to 2 to 3 referrals. That's a good number based on our data. Another thing is that you should have at least 3 milestones. My suggestion again is to have around 5 milestones. Why? Because you always want people to continuously invite their friends, and they should not stop. So you should have also really high milestones with 100 or 250 or 500 referrals, right? With really big rewards. But you should have them. And there will be people that they will take this amount of referrals. Why? Because you have influencers. And something that you can do is that you can attribute referrals. And when I talk about attribution is when you reward people. You can reward them, for example, if they bring email subscribers, if they bring sales. It really depends on your objective. And this is an example that I have. And just to give you also some numbers in order to understand the impact. This is an example of one of the biggest online growth marketing conference that happened in July, growthsummit.io, you can find it. And they run a milestone referral program in order to get more registrations. They got around 30,000 registrations in total, and around 35% came from invites. What was it? Is that when you were joining, they were asking you to invite more friends in order to get exclusive growth marketing content, like their favorite tools, their favorite growth resources, a demo of viral loops, an online demo, and even a free growth hacking course in Amsterdam. I'll drink some water. I was jealous, yeah. So, this is one of my favorites. We always think that we need to give money or, pay something and give something tangible. And we forget about psychology and what makes people share things, right? So, one of the things that you should keep in mind is about social currency. One of the reasons that you are here is not just because you want to learn about growth marketing, or the reasons that you work on Polygon, for example. One of the reasons is that you are cooler, and you like to think of yourself that you are cooler than others, right? Because you work in a startup, or even if you work in a corporate environment, you know about growth hacking, and the traditional marketer that sits next to you, he doesn't know that, right? So you're cooler. This is the social currency. And when you do a Google search, you will see growth hacking. Yeah, dude, I was yesterday in an event about growth hacking, right? Yeah, this is how it works. When we find a new app in our mobile that is really cool, and we share it, in an Instagram story, I found that. So how cool is that? Yeah, I was the first one, right? So social currency works. Something that you can do is that you can show off your top ambassadors. How you can do it? You can say, for example, that you can put a public leaderboard. This is an example of a campaign that Microsoft, that runs together with Ubuntu, they use us. And what they're doing is that they take their top ambassadors every month, and they have a public leaderboard that everybody can see, who are the top ambassadors, and then they notify these people in order to make more invites and share it with their friends. And everybody does that, right? Because, I am a top ambassador of Microsoft. Or if you hate Microsoft, okay, of Ubuntu. And it's something that you can do that really easily. Another thing that can work with the top ambassadors is that here, as you can see, if, let's say, you show off your top 50 ambassadors every month, and you are at the, at 500 position, what you can do is that you can say, for example, okay, if you invite at least one friend, so you can have a dynamic algorithm that does that, you can climb up to this position. So we do that because we see that it's really easy to go up, 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 and then become an ambassador. So try always to give them small wins and small commitments in order to get them up. Something else that we're doing in Viral Loops, we'll be launching that next week, or 2 weeks maybe. We will be taking the top ambassadors. We will be taking their photograph from their social media, and we will add a picture, because we have an image processing, with my dog. So this will be one of the rewards. We'll see how it will work. More tips. So more actionable tips. Facebook share. People can share a referral link with their friends through Facebook, right? Through Twitter, it doesn't work. Through LinkedIn, it works really well, as Thomas mentioned, especially after they got acquired by Microsoft. What people do as a mistake is that they don't pay attention on what people share on Facebook. So what they're doing is that they just add an image, a generic image. So what you should do instead is that you should have a very specific image that people can share when they want to invite their friends. This is called the Open Graph. So if you search about Facebook Open Graph, you will understand how it works. And you can have a different image for every single page of your website. So in your dashboard page for the referral program, you should have a very specialized image, prompting people to subscribe because it's coming from an invite. And there are more cooler things that you can do, from having GIFs, from letting people add their own images, and other stuff. Something that works really well lately is messaging apps. So Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp work really well for referrals. The main difference from Facebook sharing is that you have, let's say, a lower reach. So the reach is not so big, but it's more targeted. So when I share it on Facebook Messenger, most probably I will send it, let's say, to 1 or 2 friends. But these 2 friends are more likely to convert. So you should always have messaging apps in your invite flow. And last, make sure your audience is aware of your referral program. So this is the first metric that you should be measuring, and it's the user adoption. So what a lot of companies do is that they launch a referral program, but they never promote it to their audience. So what you should do is that you should have it in your emails, in the footer. You should have it in your navbar, in your main page. You should have a different page. You should have widgets prompting people to invite their friends. So measure user adoption and make sure to increase that as much as possible. How do we measure virality? We measure it with something that is called the viral factor, or K factor. And basically what this is how many new registrations or new customers come from invites, okay? In order to understand the impact, if we have a viral factor of 0.2, and let's say that we have 5,000 users or 5,000 active customers, then if we have 0.2, then we can get 1,000 new customers. And most probably you'll be thinking, okay, but what is 0.2? What is a good number? It's a bad number? What it is? So for a consumer internet product, a sustainable viral factor is around 0.15 to 0.25. So you should go for 0.25 to start with, or for 0.2. And if you go higher and higher, then you're doing a very good job and you will be getting a ton of new users. And just to define virality, when you hear that something, goes viral, it means that one user brings another one. So the viral factor is 1. And viral products, I don't know if there are any. It's Facebook, it's Snapchat, this kind of products, right? So this is how you measure it. But this is the output. And when we want to increase the output of, let's say, of our metrics, we should focus on our inputs because it's easier to improve them. Some metrics that you can improve, it's like a funnel, like the one that Thomas showed you. Basically, you should think, remember the AARR funnel? So it's acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, referral, all right? Each single stage, let's say, of the funnel, each single level, it has smaller funnels inside of it. So in the referral funnel, we have this kind of funnel. So we have the user adoption, how many people are aware of our referral program. We have the number of invitations each user sends. So do they send invites and how many they send? The conversion rate, which is basically how many people convert from an invite, the invitees. How long it takes a user to start inviting others. And this is really correlated to user adoption. So if you just hide the referral program in a user profile, it will take ages for people to invite their friends. How long it takes a user, how long it takes a user to convert from an invitation, and my favorite one, and I will show you some example, at which point you ask to the user to send an invite. And why I will focus on that. Think of this scenario. I use viral loops. I'm a customer of viral loops. I don't know viral loops. The customer support sucks, okay? I send them emails and they don't respond to me on time. I cannot install it on my website because I have a problem with the API and I'm really angry, right? And then when I log in to the system, I see a widget from Intercom saying, oh, welcome aboard. Why don't you send an invite to a friend and you'll get 20% off? What do you think I would do? What? I won't invite a friend, and most probably I will, send a very nice message to customer support. All right? So what you need to do is that you need to find ways to send personalized prompts in happy and successful moments. All right? So we don't ask people to invite their friends all the time. And let me show you some examples. The first thing that you should do is that you should identify what makes a customer successful and happy in your application or in your service. So just to give you an example of how we do it in Viral Loops, for us, the main success is when people get new customers using referrals. So if we see a specific increase in the number of leads or customers that they're taking, coming from invites, then we know that they're getting value from our product. What we do then is that we pass this data to Segment, which is a tool that we're using for actually, let's say, driving data to all of our platforms, to our analytics, to our email marketing platforms, and everywhere. It's a very useful tool. And when we do so, we create a rule on Intercom, which is a chat and email marketing automation. It's a combined solution that we're using for our for Viral Loops. And at this time, we aggressively ask people to invite their friends because we know that they're happy and we know that they're successful. And we go one step further and we write personalized copy because if we do that, we know that it will increase the number of invites sent. For example, this is a text that we're sending to e-commerce customers that we have, and the copy that we're using, we say, hey, last week you got more than 40 new paying customers from your referral program. So we show them the value because we're not sure that they know it, right? And then, wouldn't it be awesome to help other e-commerce marketers and founders solve their customer acquisition problem? So, because most probably we all know another founder or another marketer. And then, in the end here, with both letters, if they upgrade, you'll both get 10% forever, all right? So we try to identify this moment and be very aggressive on that moment. Another tip after today's discussion with the guys is how you can leverage NPS. So what is NPS? Is the Net Promoter Score. It's a question that you should have got saying, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend? And it's a scale from 0 to 10, and depending on the grade, 7, 8 are passive, 9, 10 you're a promoter. And these guys here are detractors. So what you should do here, if someone gives you this grade, you should not ask them to invite a friend, right? You should ask them, and you should talk to them to understand why they don't like your application. What is the problem with that, all right? So, when you take these ones, what you're doing, you can run an NPS campaign through Typeform. You can grab Thomas and Maya to tell you how they do it. Then you can pass this data again through Segment in order your app to be aware that these people are passives or promoters. And then you can run a personalized trigger. This is the variables widget, but you can use your own. It doesn't matter. Asking people to invite their friends. So another way is to leverage NPS to drive more referrals. And what I would recommend is that you should have the NPS as a core metric that you run your business. Another example of a nice growth hack. So a lot of ambassador programs that we see are based on email subscribers. So they say, for example, that invite a friend, and if you invite 5 friends, you'll get something. If you invite 10 friends, you'll get something else. And the invitation and the attribution happens on the email subscription. But you will say, but okay, Savvas, I like that, but I don't want email subscribers. I want sales because I want to grow, because my investors, are kicking my butt. What I should do? So a nice case study. This is an e-commerce store from the UK called Zoewares. It's a very cool brand for men underwear. Their tagline is the underwear your balls deserve, which is really cool. Yeah, they're really cool guys. And what they're doing is that they have, before their Kickstarter campaign, they had an ambassador program asking you to invite friends in order to get free underwear. I got some. And what they did afterwards is that they had their Facebook retargeting pixel in that page. And then they were running Facebook retargeting with video. And this is the cheapest thing that you can do on Facebook advertising. If you can find a way of producing video content, high quality, really fast, and then running retargeting with native Facebook video, then it's the cheapest thing that you can do. Trust me, okay? So this is a really nice hack. You drive traffic to that page, you get a lot of email subscribers, and then you're retargeting them with a Facebook video. Why it's really cheap? Because it's difficult to produce that. So if I ask from here, how many of you run Facebook ads? How many of you run Facebook ads? Almost everyone. How many of you run Facebook ads with video? Yeah. So I was wrong. Slovenia does video. Trust me, it's the first conference that I present, and we have almost the same amount of people that run Facebook ads and run Facebook ads with video. So, and some tips for the rest of the people. If you want to produce fast video, you can do it with your mobile phone, or you can go, for example, in an app called canva.co or .com, which is a tool to create images, and you can create basic animations just by drag and drop, and then you can export it as a video and upload it on Facebook, and it does the same job. And my 1 million tip. Don't call it refer a friend. Find something else, all right? I also have here some more resources. So if you want to, to get into viral marketing and start reading about it, I have more resources here. I believe that we will send the presentations, right? And we will also prepare a document with the best links. I did that. So that was it. If you want to read my content, I publish everything natively on Facebook and LinkedIn. And also I write regularly on our Variables blog. Thank you so much.